I don't know about you, but I always want my brand to be top of mind when people are thinking about what they might need. I'm always looking for different ways that I can get my brand in front of people, whether that's the 3D printing business or the bakery. I prefer for when my customers want something that they think of me first, whether that's going to be because of a past experience they had with me, or maybe it's because they have something around them with my brand name on it that's always going to remind them. Today, I'm going to talk to you about different ways that you can get your brand name in front of them using a heat press that can keep your brand top of mind for them at all times. My name is Ashley. Welcome back to Design and Forge Studios, Print to Profit. Let's get into it. So, I have been contacted by quite a few companies since starting this YouTube channel to send free things, try them, make a video. For me, I am always going to give an honest review. I'm always going to say the things I like, the things I don't like, and I'm going to put that out there because I'll never do a video that says that something is amazing when I don't think it is, because I would never want somebody to spend their money on something, their hard-earned money on something that isn't going to do what they want. But I had Vevor reach out to me about their heat press. And as somebody who already uses a 15-quart Vevor mixer in my bakery, and we have a Vevor water softener on our trailer, I have some experience with their brand and the quality of their products. So I said yes, because I knew that I could use the heat press to get my business in front of more people. So when Vevor reached out to me to do a review on their machine, I immediately looked into what exactly that machine could do. And as soon as I saw that it could do sublimation, I knew that I wanted to be able to use it to help with the branding of my business. I remember back when heat transfer vinyl really became a thing many years ago, and I tried it out. And you put it on with just an iron, and it looks cute at first, but it comes off. If I'm going to put my brand on something, I don't actually want to do it on vinyl. Though this machine can do vinyl, I think the best part of this machine is sublimation, because sublimation is permanent. It will not come off. You could throw it in the washer or the dryer if it's on fabric. You can do whatever you want with it, and you know that it's going to last. So let's get into unboxing this machine and getting it set up. Okay, so we are going to do this together fully in real time to determine just how this machine would work for a beginner. So from what I've learned, we should put some parchment down. And what I did is I actually purchased these plain polyester bags because I am going to brand them for both businesses. So we're going to start with the 3D printing business, and we're going to brand them. And then I'm going to use these as giveaways. So we're going to put the image there down in the middle. And then we're going to, again, apply parchment paper. We're going to swing the top back in. And I have it set for what the instruction says for polyester, which is 270 degrees Fahrenheit, 10 seconds. So let's see how it goes. Press the button to start the timer. Okay, there's our timer. We're going to lift it up. We're going to swing it out. We're going to give it a couple seconds to cool down. And unfortunately, that did not work. So now I need to troubleshoot what the problem was. Okay, well, a quick Google check tells me that the temperature is not correct. So we are going to go back. We are going to set the temperature way higher. It tells me it needs to be at 380. The manual here told me 270, and all I was getting was a little bit of ghosting. So we are going to reset the temperature, and we're going to wait for it to warm up. So we've got it back to the temperature that we want to be at now. We are going to try this again. So we're going to close it, hit the down arrow, okay, and oh, I can already see that it actually applied this time. So let's take the transfer off. Now you'll be able to see the ghosting from where we went wrong before. But for our first one, I'm okay with that. So let's give it another go. We have our parchment. We have our bag. Being very careful with my fingers here because I do not have heat resistant gloves on. This time, we're going to do the bakery. And I want it up a little bit higher on the bag, not exactly in the middle. So we're going to put it on. We're going to take our parchment paper. We're going to swing back around. So glad we have the right temperature now. Okay, and we are going to press and down button, and it's going to give us our countdown. Okay, lift up. We're going to swing away. And let's see how we did this time. Well, the second one is disappointing. As you can see, it did not fully apply. It was on there for the right time and at the right temperature. So I am not sure why that would have happened. We're going to keep testing it out and we're going to see. So here we go with our next polyester bag. Let's make sure the handles are not underneath. We're going to do the bakery again because I have a lot of the bakery ones. Since I just went through a rebrand, I wanted to have them so I can give them out to customers. So what we're going to do this time is I'm going to change the time setting because I feel like it's not getting enough time. So we're going to go with 12 seconds. So let's see. Okay. Let's see how we did this time. Well, it did come out a little bit darker. Now, part of this is going to be my own fault. See how we have that little bit of ghosting there? Now, if I had heat safe tape and had this tape down, that would not have happened. So that part is my own fault, but I think it looks really cute. So now we are going to move on and we're going to try a tumbler. So the tumbler piece did require it being put together. It came in, mostly everything was separate. So I did put it together off camera because it was just easier for me to be able to sit and do that than to try to do it in the 3D printing room. In order to be able to operate this with the machine, all these external pieces have their own cords. So there's another piece to this machine that does baseball hats. And again, with that one, you actually have to take off the top part of the model and then heat press comes off and the baseball hat part or the ball cap part goes on. We are not going to be doing that for the sake of this video. We are going to be doing and for just the flat press and showing how the tumblers work. So now that we have that plugged in, we have our cute little sublimated print that's going to go onto our tumbler. But first, we need to heat this up. So we're going to turn it back on. We have it heated up to 370 right now, and I have it set for 30-second intervals because what's going to happen is I'm going to turn the tumbler as it goes. So I do have better heat resistant gloves on now, and I have my tumbler wrap on. Now again, I do not have heat resistant tape, so I may get a not perfect bottle because of that, and that is just something that I need to be okay with because I don't have the appropriate tape. So we're going to slide this in, and we're going to close it up. We're going to start the timer. Okay, there's our first 30 seconds. So we're going to release, and we need to turn it. And this is where we're probably going to run into a problem with the image. We're going to close it up and start the timer again. And hopefully I didn't mess that image up too much. Okay, and there's our timer again. So we're going to open it up, and I'm going to give it a minute to cool down before I remove it. Because I'm also a baker, I'm actually going to use my tongs to take it out because that makes me feel more comfortable with something that I know is going to be quite warm. Okay, so let's see how we did. It is still pretty hot to touch. Oh my gosh, you guys! It turned out perfect. There's a little bit of a mess there and a seam. Again, that's entirely my fault. I'm so in love with it. I'm so in love with it. This is going to be so amazing for me to take around to markets and everything to help with branding. And I actually plan on making 4 of them in total, and 2 of them I am going to give away. Wow, I'm actually so impressed. That went on perfectly, and it was really, really easy to use. As somebody who has never done this before, had no prior knowledge for how to do it whatsoever, I'm especially impressed. I have probably 8 to 10 sublimated tumblers in my cupboards because I just love all the different ideas that you can do with them. And well, this officially probably is going to be my new favorite. I seriously could not be happier with this. I'm really so impressed with how it turned out. So I am going to order the heat safe tape prior to doing the other 3 so that I don't get this. But that is not the machine's fault. That was entirely my fault. And we talked about that. So this is what it looks like once I've had it all set up on my desk. This is the tumbler press, which I love because you can do so many different things with this. It comes with a variety of different plate attachments. So there's a 6-ounce mug press, there's a 12-ounce mug press, there's a 17-ounce mug press, and a 30-ounce mug press attachment. So I currently have the 30-ounce mug press attachment on there because that's what I need to be able to use for doing the tumblers. And then when it comes to the flat press here, obviously it's going to be able to do your t-shirts, your bags, anything that's flat, but this part actually comes off. You could attach a curved piece. This is it. It's actually 2 separate pieces. I'm holding them together, but this will allow you to do baseball hats. My son is really into baseball hats right now. For him, it would be the coolest thing to go to one of our markets selling our 3D prints wearing a branded Design and Forge Studios hat. I think that he would just absolutely love that. So for sure, that is something that I'm going to make happen with this. So let's talk about my overall impressions of this machine. As somebody who has never used a heat press in my life, never sublimated anything, I obviously had to do a little bit of prior research to determine how I am going to sublimate things, what I needed for it. And you saw when I was doing it, obviously, I did not have the heat-proof tape. I will be getting that prior to making more of the tumblers because I do obviously really want to make more of those. I might even actually end up making some mugs as well. Just really so many different things to be able to keep my brand in front of people. But when we started out with the bags. And you can see this is the Design and Forge Studios bags. Again, the ghosting, my fault, because I didn't have tape to be able to hold it in place. Now, the only issue that we ran into with bags is that the temperature setting in the manual wasn't accurate, because when we did the temperature setting that it said in the manual, it didn't actually press into the fabric at all. So I had to go back onto Google and find out what temperature setting that I needed to have. Once I had that, it pressed on. It was pretty good. The bakery bags did not press on as well, and that I'm going to look into before I do more. It might be because the ink in the bakery ones is a lot lighter. The ink in the Design and Forge Studios, so the 3D printing ones, is quite a bit darker, and that went into the bag really, really well. So it could partially be quality of the bags that I purchased, could be how light the ink was. I'm going to do some more research in the coming days, and then I will make more of them, and I'll post a short to show you how those turned out once I figure that out. But the best thing that I did with that machine, and the thing that I probably was actually most excited about getting it, was the tumbler. Now, I don't know about you guys, but everywhere I go, people have their tumblers with them. Whether it's got coffee in it or water, it doesn't matter. We live in a world now where people take their drinks with them all the time. When I was a kid, a long time ago, if you weren't around a fountain, you weren't getting a drink, especially at school. We weren't all taking our waters to school with us every day, but now that is a different thing. And we all take our waters with us all the time. I have a tumbler of water with me everywhere I go. So now you better believe that that tumbler of water that I'm going to have with me is going to be my branded business tumbler. And my plan is to also get some branded tumblers for the 3D printing business. I focused on the bakery for these ones because I just rebranded the bakery at the beginning of last week, and I need to get that brand in front of more people so that they can relate that brand to me and not the old one, which is why I focused on the bakery for these tumblers. But now think about your customers sitting at home and they get an idea of something that they want before they maybe jump to go online and Google it and find another business. If you have something sitting in their house that has your business name on it, when they open the cupboard, every time they see it, or when they're going out of the house, they have their water in it, whatever that might be, your brand is always the one that's sticking in their mind. And if your brand is the one that's in their mind, your company is the one that they're going to go to when they want to purchase that item. I'm not saying that you got to go and brand a million things and get those out to people, but maybe at your next market, you have 10 tote bags that are branded with your business on it. And the first 10 people to make a purchase at your table over $20 in value gets a free tote bag. Not only are they walking around that market with your tote bag, but they're going to continue to use that tote bag because we all are using reusable bags all the time. At least here, especially in Canada, where we can't go to the store anymore and get a plastic bag. We have to use reusable bags all the time. So you get somebody a reusable bag with your business name on it, and that is going to keep your business top of mind. My overall thoughts on the machine: there were a lot of pieces when I opened the box, which seemed a little bit intimidating. But actually, most of those pieces were not ones that immediately have to go on. They're all the separate plates that you would use depending on the size of the item that you're pressing. So once I started to get things out of the box, I didn't feel overwhelmed by it at all. The only thing that really had to get put together was the press for the mugs, for the tumblers. The actual full flat press itself was totally together, other than the actual power element to it. So setup was pretty easy. I do believe that the instructions could be a little bit more clear. It didn't indicate which size screws needed to be used when you were doing the heat press. Luckily, the majority of the screws were one size, and there was only 4 screws of a different size. So I was obviously able to figure that out quite quickly, but I do think that the instructions could be a little bit more clear. And I also think that the temperature settings in the back of that manual should be revisited to make sure that they're accurate, because the temperature setting for polyester, which is the bags that I was using, did not work. But again, maybe the manual should be a little bit more clear in that and give a wider temperature range to give you a better idea of how high you might need to go with your item. Overall, I'm really impressed with the machine. As somebody who has never done any of this before, you watched as I did the very first sublimated tumbler, and the first one turned out right away. I found that it was really easy to get it out of the box, set it up, and use it right from the start. So if you're a beginner looking to get into sublimation, I would definitely say that this machine is a good one for you to start with because it was really easy to use. And if you're somebody who already has a business, a 3D printing business perhaps, and you are looking to up your branding, I definitely think that this machine can help you out in that sense. Make sure that your name is the one that is always top of mind for people, and that's what's going to help to continue to grow your business along with your amazing products. If you have found anything in this video to be useful, I would so appreciate it if you gave us a like below. Drop in the comments what you found useful, what you didn't find useful. I am always open to all the feedback that you have. What are different ways that you brand things to get your business name in front of people? I would love to know those ideas too. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, happy printing.